WEAR News at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being with us today. Policyholders in Florida starting to see more protection for their homes and some relief in their pockets.
The growing market for insurance policies is becoming more competitive in a good way. In the last year, more than a dozen new insurance companies started offering policies in Florida. Now, more options for insurance means potentially lower rates for customers. Officials say reforms within the state's government is attracting more insurance companies to offer policies in Florida. Officials say this is the most stable insurance market we've seen in the last decade.
Over the last 5 years, the competition for insurance carriers had dwindled so much that you were just doing good to get whatever policy you could get and pay whatever they put in front of you because there was so little out there. Today, however, that's kind of changed, and now so long as you've got a good roof, a newer roof, you have more competition, and the likelihood that you can get a lower policy rate is much more attractive.
Insurance agent Mary Jordan says not everyone will see the same benefits. Tonight at 6, learn how your policy could be impacted.
A Baldwin County man arrested this weekend behind bars tonight. He's accused of sexually abusing several children for nearly a decade. 31-year-old Daniel Hartman faces several charges, including rape, sodomy, and sexual abuse. The Baldwin County Sheriff's Office investigation began back in April after allegations regarding Hartman and a child younger than 12 years old. During the investigation, Captain Daniel Steelman says more victims began speaking out. Now, there are at least 5 victims.
Adults tend to have a course of behavior to where they groom or engage in conduct with children. They don't just start off usually by engaging in sexual relationship with a child. They tend to get them comfortable, earn their trust, and then violate that trust.
Captain Steelman says the victims were known to Hartman and there could be more. What Baldwin County parents need to know, that's tonight at 6 o'clock.
An 18-year-old booked into the Escambia County Jail on charges related to a deadly shooting. Emmanuel Bonner is accused of involvement in the death of Quentin Crane in December of 2023. Another person was wounded. It happened in the area of Roosevelt Street and Tarragona Street in Pensacola. The arrest warrant says Bonner was wearing an ankle monitor at the time, so officers had information on where he was at the time of the shooting. Now, Bonner's brother, Isaiah Colley, was arrested just days after the shooting. They're both being held without bond. And 2 drivers taken to hospitals with serious injuries after a crash on 9 Mile Road near the Interstate 10 ramp. A photo sent to WEAR News shows 2 vehicles with heavy damage, including one overturned. State troopers say it was raining heavily around 10 this morning when an SUV lost control while passing. It hit another car, then rolled. No other vehicles were involved.
An Escambia County school principal facing charges after a 3-car crash. State troopers arrested Amy Roby on a charge of DUI causing property damage. The report says Roby was driving east on Olive Road around 8 o'clock last night. Her car crossed the center line, hitting another car head-on and careening into a 3rd car. Roby is the principal at Helen Cairo Elementary School. Escambia County Public Schools sent a statement saying they're aware of the arrest and will follow their employee discipline protocols.
Pensacola Mayor D.C. Reeves taking heat at last night's City Council meeting over the departure of Police Chief Eric Randall. Several members of the public spoke up, demanding more information. The mayor basically saying he's done talking about it. Now, those comments extending to our social media pages as well. Deborah White said, why isn't the mayor defending his position if he feels it was right? Stephen Cal added, don't answer our questions, then don't expect to be elected again in this city, plain and simple. Reeves addressed the comments after hearing from the public last night.
I made the decision that we're not going to be going, back and forth, not because I'm not comfortable in the direction that we're going. It's because I've got too much respect for someone that served 5 years in the city.
Do you think Mayor Reeves needs to be more transparent about Eric Randall's departure? Scanning the QR code will take you to the poll on our website, so you can let us know what you think.
Pensacola Parks and Recreation wants input on the future of the Fricker Resource Center. The city asking the community for ideas and feedback on the types of programs and services important to them. Public meetings will be held at the Fricker Center on F Street, July 23rd and 31st, beginning at 6:30 p.m. The city planning a major renovation project that will transform the center into a 2-story multi-purpose facility.
Well, just 24 days until school starts, and a Pensacola organization is helping families get ready. PCS Outreach Ministries is hosting a back-to-school summer bash. They'll have free haircuts and school supplies, along with fun activities and live entertainment, tomorrow from 10 to 3 at Lexington Terrace Park on Old Coreyfield Road in Pensacola.
First warning weather, sponsored by Pensacola State College.
Alan, off and on rain today. I'm hoping that it won't keep going throughout the weekend.
Right.
Well, let me say this too. I like having you two ladies in the studio.
I know.
mean,
It's ladies' night, right?
Yeah, it's ladies' night. We don't miss Tanner, right? Don't worry about
We
him.
miss Tanner. Happy birthday to the two babies today, too.
Yeah, his little twins, 1-year-old today, so he's off for that. But yeah, look, this weekend we may have a little shower. Anytime something may pop.
11 people have been infected across Florida with Vibrio vulnificus this year. It's a type of flesh-eating bacteria found in marine waters. 4 people have died. Now, 2 cases this year were in Escambia and Santa Rosa counties. Scientists say Vibrio is commonly found in the sediment at the bottom of salt water. The medical community considers the disease rare, but each year cases pop up across Florida. We spoke to a local biologist who said the bacteria usually shows up after major storms. She said there needs to be more messaging about the risks of Vibrio.
I think everyone in public health would agree to have more knowledge, not only amongst the citizens and tourists, but also amongst local physicians who may not ask someone who comes in with a high fever, have you been in the Bay or in the Sound or in the Gulf in the last tick, 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 12 hours, or whatever they think the incubation time may be. So awareness amongst local physicians, but also amongst citizens is important.
The Florida Department of Health says those who are immunocompromised or have a weakened immune system are at the most risk of catching the disease. Wadner also says those who with opened wounds or dry skin should also think twice about getting into the water. Now, coming up at 6, hear from a local survivor of Vibrio and his message to the community.
A local coaching legend marked 45 years of kids' summer basketball camps today. Coach Jip Bowes knows every aspect of the game, from playing in college to coaching at Pensacola State College to running summer clinics for the last 45 years. And along with the drills and skills, there are lessons that last a lifetime.
But one of the first things we tell them on Monday is we'll look to your right, look to your left, look in front of you, look behind you. That's the last time this week you're going to compare yourself to anybody else.
To mark the 45-year milestone, several players who attended the very first camp stopped by. Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, you'll hear from what one of them says about his impact on the community and on her life.
$9 billion in funding canceled. The potential fallout from the recessions bill passed by Congress. Now, there's no doubt we've seen a lot of growth in Pensacola, and now we're being recognized on a national level. LinkedIn just released its yearly Cities on the Rise list, and Pensacola came in at number 25. Cities on the list saw an increase in hiring, job creation, and professional migration. The study highlighting the growing housing market, as well as the jobs in healthcare and professional services. But local businesses keep the city afloat too. Things like easy access to the airport and tax cuts are also contributions to the city's ranking. Now, locals say that Pensacola isn't the small beach town that it used to be.
So you used to have like the fall and spring shoulder seasons, but now you're seeing the economic drivers that are bringing visitors in year round, which is keeping the businesses busy year round, which is great for the area because then that money just keeps coming in.
Tonight at 5, WEAR's Melanie Levy has more on how Pensacola is transforming from a small coastal city to a professional hub year round.
Thanks, Alan. President Donald Trump is asking Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce, quote, any and all pertinent testimony related to accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein.
He's seeming to bow to pressure to release more material on the case. Correspondent Julia Benbrook is at the White House with the latest developments.
Migraine disorder is a neurological condition that affects 1 in 6 adults, I know I'm one of them, and 11% of children.
It's often debilitating, but for the most part, it's treatable. Barbara Morse shows us new medications that are providing added relief for some longtime sufferers. The Association of Migraine Disorders is running an awareness campaign called Shades for Migraine. They're asking everyone to take a selfie with sunglasses on and post it to social media with the hashtag.
may help prevent other damaging health conditions. Researchers at Emory University synthesized findings from nearly 500 peer-reviewed studies. They conclude heart-healthy behaviors positively impact brain function, vision, hearing, and muscle strength, and reduce the risk of chronic diseases like cancer and dementia. Those behaviors include not smoking, healthy eating, regular physical activity, maintaining a healthy weight, and managing blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar.
Many cancer patients struggle to get to appointments because they lack transportation. The QR code on your screen will take you to the Sinclair Cares website. We're partnering with the American Cancer Society to highlight their need for volunteer drivers. Our website has a link with information and an application if you're available to help.
AR News at 4 starts now.
Welcome back, everyone. People who get insurance through the Affordable Care Act could be looking at higher premiums.
Policy research group KFF looked at 105 Obamacare insurers that have filed rates so far. They found many of those companies are proposing hikes of 15 to 20%. Now, healthcare costs are rising and enhanced ACA premium subsidies expire at the end of this year. Lawmakers failed to include an extension of the subsidies in the Big Beautiful Bill Act. Insurers are finalizing their premiums ahead of open enrollment starting in November. And turtle watchers on Perdido Key are celebrating the first hatch of the season. They counted 106 tiny loggerheads entering the water despite distractions from artificial lightning. Now, Escambia County's experts recommend if you're visiting Gulf beaches at night, leave lights off, including cell phones, or use a red-tinted flashlight. Remove any toys, chairs, and other gear when you leave for the day. Fill up holes and flatten sandcastles so they don't trap or block any hatchlings.
First warning weather, sponsored by Pensacola State College.
Well, guys, we made it to Friday, my favorite
Yes,
day of
happy
the week.
Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody. Alan, what do we have on tap for this weekend?
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before too. Friday is definitely the best day of the
It
week.
is.
Definitely.
Some people say it's like Thursday because it's the day before Friday, but why not just have it be
Right.
Friday?
Get started on the weekend.
It's
Exactly.
Friday. Of course, I work. I don't get home till midnight, but still, Friday's the best day.
Yeah.
You know? We'll be here all night for you. We've got just we're kind of falling back in a more routine pattern, more or less.
Traffic Watch is sponsored by Anderson Subaru.
Welcome back, everyone. You're getting a live look at the Pensacola Bay Bridge heading into Gulf Breeze. Traffic seems to be moving pretty smooth right now. There is an accident a little further down on Highway 98, but not impacting traffic at all, as you can see. So not too much going on to worry about, and stay safe out there on the roads.
First of its kind legislation to regulate the crypto industry has just been signed into law by President Trump, who was a skeptic of digital currency just a few years ago, but is now all in. He says regulation will make America a leader in crypto, but critics point out how much he personally stands to benefit.
National correspondent Atra El-Nashar reports.
A leading late-night show is now counting down to the final episode. CBS ending the Late Show with Stephen Colbert next May. Colbert shared the news at his show taping on Thursday, saying this is all just going away. There's been speculation about Colbert's future with CBS amid changes at the network's parent company, Paramount. Colbert is an outspoken Trump critic, and Paramount recently settled a lawsuit with President Trump. CBS says the cancellation was a financial decision, not related to the show's performance or content.
Netflix is increasing revenues and profit margins. They're reporting revenues of $11 billion for the quarter that just ended. They're not releasing their subscriber figures. According to The Hollywood Reporter, they're putting focus on revenue and income as they experiment with various options, including ad-based models in different markets.
And NBC Universal streaming service Peacock raising prices rolling out over the next month. The two tiers will both see increases on their $3 per month. Of $3 per month. They're also planning to test a cheaper tier that includes access to a limited number of titles. That option will run about $8 per month. This is the third time Peacock has raised prices in the last 3 years.
A dog lost in the wilderness is now home. The social media plea that helped bring him home. One of the most iconic props in movie history is going to a new home.
It's Rosebud, the sled from Citizen Kane, sold for $14.75 million. Heritage Auctions not revealing who's taking possession. Director Joe Dante says He was given the sled in 1985 by someone clearing out the former home of RKO Pictures. He not only cared for it, he gave it a few minutes of added screen time in his films Explorers, The Burbs, Gremlins 2, and an episode of Erie, Indiana. Now, this is my first time ever seeing this sled in my life.
I know, I guess I need to check out the movie.
Right, I need to do my Rosebud homework over the weekend.
Exactly, you and me both. Well, director Christopher Nolan has dedicated fans. Some 24 IMAX theaters opened ticket sales for his next film, The Odyssey, and sold out in less than an hour. The movie doesn't even open until next year. Of course, at least a few tickets went to speculators, now trying to sell them online for upwards of $300. The Odyssey is retelling the Greek epic with an all-star cast, including Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Lupita Nyong'o, and Zendaya.
Oh, that's a good cast.
It is.
You know, I've heard that Zendaya and Tom Holland are getting married, maybe?
I think so. You gotta love them, though.
That
So
might be a
cute.
rumor, though. I might have just made that up. Sorry. Social media for the win, reuniting a lost dog with his family. Coda got spooked and ran off during a camping trip in Alaska. His people searched for days. Then they posted a plea on social media, and it caught the eye of pilot John Kegger. He flew over the area where Coda disappeared when he landed about a half a mile from where the dog was last seen. Coda found him.
Here comes the dog out of the alders. It was kind of disbelief a little bit, you know. It's like, well, I'm going to come get this dog, but here the dog is. The dog actually came to me.
3 photos popped up on my messenger, and it was the ones that John sent me, and it was the one of him in front of the airplane, on the airplane, and with John. And I just screamed, "Ooh, it's him!"
Oh, such a sweet story to
A
end our
beautiful
week.
reunion.
Now, Coda seemingly none the worse for wear after his 9-day Alaskan adventure. It's like they found each other.
They did.
Well, happy Friday, everyone. Stay with us. We'll be right back with a look ahead to WEAR News at 5 o'clock.